Day 4 of preaching the gospel as I train. Today, we're going to understand the fact that, number one, of course, Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God, died on that cross and rose again on the third day. Now, understanding this gives us the ability to be free from ourselves. And ourselves is the number one thing that we're running from, because all the issues of life comes from the self. It comes from our own decisions. It comes from our own actions, our pride, our lust. So when Jesus Christ died on the cross and rose, he died to himself. And he died to the self that induced sin, the self that gratified sin. Sin is a representation of our false God. The false God that we think we're serving, that's what sin is. Sin is a misrepresentation of what it means to be God. That's all it is. You're misrepresenting, you're not understanding, you're confused, you're deceived, you have desires, you have wants, and you have a self that when you look in the mirror, you're not happy with. You look in the mirror and you're not content. You look in the mirror and there's no satisfaction. You try and change your life, but you fail over and over and over again. It's just a lack. Sin is another word for lack. The actual definition of sin is missing the mark. You're lacking something. You're not accurate in something. There's something wrong. There's something off. That's what sin is. Jesus died on the cross to take that away and to replace it with perfection, to replace it with accuracy, to replace it with righteousness, with glory and with wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and truth. He reshaped the spiritual atmosphere of the realms of this world. He reshaped it. He put it back in order. All we have to do is believe. Believe in what he's done. He died on the cross, rose again on the third day. When he did this, he transformed lives. He was reshaping the spiritual and physical components of this earth. That's why he was able to heal the sick, raise the dead, open the eyes of the blind. That's why he was able to do the things that he did, because of his ability to reshape the spiritual atmosphere of this realm. All you have to do is believe. So what does this belief look like? This belief looks like works. It looks like action, and it looks like obedience. This belief, there's a false belief, there's an accurate belief. A false belief is the way that the demons believe. The demons believe and know that there's a God, but yet they still choose to disobey him and do whatever they want. But the true ones, the real ones, the ones that will last forever, the ones that are made to be eternal, the ones that were made to be with God in his home forever. Those ones, they believe and do. They believe and they work out their faith with trembling and with fear, with respect, with honor, with integrity. That's why when you want to transform your life, in this case, let's use the body. If you want to transform your body, you're going to be humble. And you're going to recognize that there is an issue when you look in the mirror. You're going to recognize and be like, wow, I do not like the way that I look. I don't like the way that I feel. I know that I'm unhealthy right now. You're recognizing that there's a problem. That's exactly what you have to do when it comes to sin and inaccuracy. You have to recognize that there's an inaccuracy in your life. You have to recognize that there's a problem in your life before the solution can reveal itself. So this is how you want to recognize it. You're going to recognize it with humility, not with condemnation, not with beating yourself up, not with self-hatred, but actually the opposite, with love, with self-love, with respect, with honor, with integrity, with accountability. Yeah, you're not at the ideal body type that you want right now. You're not at the ideal size that you want right now. You may be skinny and you're not at the ideal muscle growth that you want right now, but you're not going to allow that to stop you, to hinder you. You're not going to have a negative perception about yourself. You're going to have a realistic perception of growth. of positivity, of moving forward. That's the issue, and that's the problem with people not being able to follow through with their goals and with their plans, because they took a route of negativity and self-hatred, which doesn't last that long, compared to positivity and love, which lasts forever. Positivity and love is in alignment with God, and God is the only thing that lasts forever. You align yourself with God once you adapt his values. And the number one way to adapt his values is to adapt the fact that Jesus Christ died on the cross and rose again on the third day and gave us the ability to overcome our own trespasses and mishaps. Once you receive that truth, it will unlock something in your mind, and it will give you a supernatural motivation that will make you to be consistent and disciplined. And you will truly understand, and you will truly know, and you will truly adapt the art of consistency. Because that's the only thing that's really lacking when it comes to your goals. It's consistency. Consistency, consistency, consistency. Once you receive genuine discipline and consistency, you will be able to accomplish whatever goal you set. Understand this truth, win, and realize that Jesus Christ is Lord. He died, he rose, and he's seated at the right hand of the Father.